we can't overlook these things. The difference
We can.
between good morning and morning, and that long gravelly morning. That one where it's like grinding his teeth as he's saying the words. It's like it can't be overlooked as far as the importance and the ramifications of such morning's
I'm
greetings
gonna
and
tell you
salutations.
something. If for
But,
anybody that listens to this, if
but
we have to go through this every day, they're gonna be so self conscious about how they greet people. Uh,
yeah.
that it should not. It shouldn't be something that you have to think 5 minutes about how you're
But
going to.
shouldn't we all be somewhat cautious and careful about how we greet people?
If we weren't
Shouldn't
on voice, I would just wave.
what one finger or all five?
Depends on the day.
I have a feeling that one finger would be waving every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Home Depot, nice numbers, and they're selling it. The only flaw within it is the number of transactions, I guess, are down, but overall, ticket price is up, everything is up, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Walmart put up what I thought, somewhat decent numbers. They're up pre-market. Let's see if that pump holds. As far as Walmart, they have a tendency to sell after ER, so I'm going to be kind of watching that. Housing starts did not exactly come through all that strong this morning. And if we're looking at CPI that came out of Canada, we have to acknowledge the fact that while it did come in some, it's still extremely high, just like ours. So that, in effect, is what we're kind of looking with and dealing with. Market is extraordinarily strong. Yesterday continued to show just massive levels of we do not give a fuck strength. We are buying calls, we are buying calls, and we are closing out of puts. That has been the theme Friday and Monday, and it has been absolutely intense. Now, with this being said, we are getting a bit of a red candle, which is kind of an anomaly over the last 3, 4 weeks. But that is something that is coming in right now. We are getting some red candles. A couple other things to note: the Iran nuclear talks seem to be slowly but surely progressing. Again, not sure what the American people should want the result to be of this, but it is putting pressure on crude and gas, and those are coming down. They will probably come down until they don't. You know how that thing works. The other thing that is kind of worth pointing out before we jump into Bender's levels here a little bit, this is the second day in a row, actually, it would kind of make it the third day in the row that the UVXY has bounced in this 880 range. It's doing that again pre-market this morning. We also saw the VIX green yesterday, which again, those of you that have been around for years know that if we get too many green days in a row on the VIX with the market moving in the same direction, there is a butt whooping around the corner. That's just historical, kind of like the almanac type thing. Doesn't have to play out, but there are trends that have a tendency to hold more often than not, and that is one that we kind of have to look at a little bit. With this being said, Mr. Binda, what do you have for us on said levels?
Well, all right. So we are at 4286 right now. The I'll start with the levels below since we were putting a few red candles there. Uh, Fib at 4283 in previous support, which is right where this little bounce came in. This gives up 4274 is the 50 MA on the 60 minute, and there's a fib just below that at 4270. If we continue to go lower, 4254 previous support. Also, the uh, trend line support of the parallel channel that we're in would come in at that level, 4254. I would consider that a big one for today. And then just below that, 4246, there's a fib right there. But that 4254, I would consider that to be pretty important, depending on, and that level, it kind of depends on if we do go there, how fast we go there, as to exactly where it's at. But the reason I put out 54 is because uh, that, regardless, would be close to that trend line, but there is also a fib there. One other thing I want to mention here, and I'm gonna post this chart because we've been in this up channel, kind of in the shorter term, which, you know, obviously is the channel that I've been posting on all my charts since we first kind of created it. I want to show, this is a daily that I'm about to post, just to keep everybody kind of on the same page. And you can see this trendline resistance that we are approaching, that starts at the highs that we put in up around whatever that was, 4,800.
Give or take.
Yeah. So you can see we don't have too far to go, you know, before we approach that. And I think people are going to be scared, hesitant. I don't know what the right word is, but apprehensive. but I think that everybody just needs to be aware that if we do move higher, that line here, there's a zoomed in version, that line may come into play right around 43, call it 43.35, 43.40, right in there. I'll get a better, more accurate number of where that line comes into play, but there's also a fib at 43.38. So I would consider that 43.38, you know, to be pretty big, like real big. So that's what I got.
It's really, really interesting. It's like when you look at that chart, you really, really try to focus in on it and get an idea. It's like that breakout is potentially right around the corner. Potentially. Or you could look at it and be like, that's just one dopey, nasty, discombobulated looking bear flag hanging out over there that had a spike and could be settling back down. There's just so many different ways to go. But what we do know is that flow, like I said, over the last several days has been just so much bull, it's ridiculous. I will say, though, that a lot of it, with the exception of Tesla, has been more short-dated activity and a decent amount of bid side. And again, I'm going to say it again, driven off the backs of bid side puts. They shook the shit out of bear on this last run. And that run basically from 4,200 or 420 on SPY up to where we are. I think there was a massive contingent that was in place over there that was looking to get short, stay short around 4,200, 420 on SPY, and they got absolutely fucking demolished in the process. Very strong contingent that was looking to get that done. I've been short the last couple of days. It hasn't been all that friendly, I'm not going to lie, but I'm staying the course because that's just kind of how I am. So with that being said, and kind of looking at all of it, Bender, do you have any type of a lean coming in? Do you feel, and this is a fucked up word when I say you feel, the balance has been so absurdly bullish, there's always a return to the mean eventually to where you get some counterbalance in that bullish activity. They have ripped off every put basically known to man over the past 3-4 days. So it's possible they come back in and kind of either hedge or sell. They don't have to hedge, they can just sell out as far as the positions that they're in going into Fed minutes tomorrow. And I think we have some additional data points and Fed speakers this week. So I know it's a loaded ass question being delivered to you, but what say you, sir?
Well, I think, I don't know, man. I don't know. Historically, you know, the almanac yesterday was bullish, today bullish, tomorrow bullish. I do think that, you know, we're potentially set up for maybe small pullback or consolidation sort of action. Uh, I don't have, you know, any strong feeling or conviction either direction right at this moment. I gotta wait and kind of see what it looks like and where they want to take it. I don't know. We're close enough to that 4,300 that we're not at a huge massive level of support at the moment. Where we bounced yesterday was perfect. That level that we went down and touched and bounced yesterday showed a lot of strength. That was good. Can they keep pushing higher and go test that 4340? Maybe we get it tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, if we were playing the old gun to head game, I'd probably say I'm not playing this round because I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think that's entirely fair, and I think that it's definitely a healthy perspective to where if you have that confusion, it's like wait for confirmation, don't guess. That's a good take, very very strong take. All right, so I guess we'll turn it over to Stockington and hope we don't have any stories, or are we hoping we have stories from Stockington? Which one?
Oh man, yeah. I guess that's the gun to head game. Do you get a story? For some reason, I picture if a guy's making you play gun to head, I don't think you can say I don't want to, but who knows? So Baba, I posted my chart. I'm not surprised that we gapped. It's just a Baba thing to do. So I'm gonna switch it up and put the triggers. I'm gonna say pre-market resistance was a fib I had 93.05, and then pre-market support was another fib 91.90. That also kind of lines up. There's a dark pool down there 91.99. The dark pool from last night was up above at 94.2, which it went down from there, and also it kind of fell out of a consolidation that you can see there in the chart. So that's Baba. We'll see what we get. Coin is very compressed coming into this week, and it's been getting all this weird flow. So it's like a lot of eyes on coin, a lot of money flying around on coin. It was a weekly inside bar, daily inside bar going into yesterday. Didn't really get a significant move yesterday, so gonna keep an eye on it. Got 92.55 was basically upper orb yesterday, so see if we can break that. And then I've got a line at 90.05, so just kind of see what coin does. And then AMD, I had the call trigger is basically just ended up being pre-market resistance 101.45. And then right around yesterday's lower orb would be a potential put trigger, 135. So that's what I got as far as the list. And then looking over here at the SPY, I gave out that fib the other day, 428.85, still working as pre-market resistance. And then we had the dark pool from Friday after the close, 427.15 below. So a couple lines to keep in mind on SPY, but that's all I got.
That's all the man has. So in other news, I think this is important to note. Capri Sun wild cherry flavored is citing cleaning solution contamination within their Capri Sun drinks, Bender.
Why would you drink Capri Suns?
I wouldn't, but there are a lot of people with children who do that. The Capri Sun. I just don't understand how in the fuck cleaning solution can get anywhere near something like that. That just seems weird.
Yeah. Well, they make their own packaging, right? Like, is it?
I don't know.
Maybe somebody
I don't know.
came to work drunk and knocked the bleach over while the things were going down some conveyor belt. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it just seems like it's like, how do these things happen?
Yeah.
How do these things happen? Like if I had a juice stand and I'm sitting here pouring bleach into the juice and handing it out, I think I get walloped. Just a thought. The other thing, Apple is set to lay off 100 different recruiter contracts. They're basically slowing down. They're pulling people back into the office. They're doing all those things. So they're kind of circling the wagons a little bit over there with the Apple. These things are things that we just have to be aware of. It may not, a lot of these tech layoffs and restructures have not hit the jobs number. They may be the anomaly, if you will, but that is definitely something that is hanging out there from the standpoint of these companies continue to kind of tighten the belt a little bit. We have to be aware of these things and items, regardless of what the price action is, because we can spill just as fast as we can rocket shot. We've all been a part of it. We've all seen it. I do not have anything additionally on the day. Does anybody else have anything else that they would like to offer? And the answer is no. All right, with this being said, we have 14 minutes until open, 14 minutes until open. Let's get kind of repositioned and get our minds right to kind of understanding what the day is we have in front of us. Fed minutes are tomorrow. I think the messaging in that could be important since everybody is trying to extrapolate bad data as being good for the markets. No, we don't know what's going to come out of that. We have no idea what's going to come out of the Fed minutes. So we have to be, again, aware. The key word being aware. Bender showed that chart. Okay. Yesterday he showed a chart that was in the middle. Now he's showing a chart that's banging a line. We have to be aware. So with that being said, 12 minutes until open. Pull it together and be back again shortly. Thank you, Bender. Thank you there, Stockington.